I've been pursuing the question of the department's investigation into January 6th since pretty early days, starting with a letter in January 8th that asked about the resources that were being deployed into this investigation and whether a task force, prosecution task force was being set up and so forth. And then another letter February 24th with regard to domestic extremist violence groups' potential role. We've learned a little bit more now, and we've learned that there was a lot of money sloshing around in the background behind the January 6th rally and behind the raid, the riot in the Capitol. For instance, we know that the Bradley Foundation, which is a big funder, gave money to Turning Point USA and to Public Interest Legal Foundation. And it gets even more interesting because Turning Point USA has a twin called Turning Point Action, 501c3, 501c4 combo, which also got money from the Judicial Crisis Network to support the so-called Italy-gate, the debunked Italy-gate theory. At the same time, the Public Interest Legal Foundation had as its director Mr. Eastman, who was cranking out his fanciful memo for President Trump how to overturn the election. The Judicial Crisis Network is the same thing from a corporate standpoint as something called the Honest Elections Project, which was bringing a fanciful case in Pennsylvania regarding election fraud. And the Judicial Crisis Network was also funding RAGA, the Republican Attorney General's Association, which was making robocalls to get people to come to the riot. Now, I don't know what's going on behind all of that, but I am hoping that the due diligence of the FBI is being deployed not just to the characters who trespassed in the Capitol that day and who engaged in violent acts, but that you're taking the look you would properly take at any case involving players behind the scenes, funders of the enterprise, and so forth in this matter as well. And there's been no decision to say, we're limiting this case just to the people in the building that day. We're not going to take a serious look at anybody behind it.
Senator, I'm very limited as to what I can say.
I understand that.
We have a criminal investigation going forward.
Please tell me it has not been constrained only to people in the Capitol.
The investigation is being conducted by the prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office and by the FBI field office. We have not constrained them in any way.
Great. And the old doctrine of follow the money, which is a well-established principle of prosecution, is alive and well.
It's fair to say that all investigative techniques of which you're familiar, and some maybe that you're not familiar with because they post-date your time, are all being pursued in this manner.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.